Good evening. Welcome to season number 3, episode 6 of the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, coming to you from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Yeah, just doing a little R&R, but we're still doing the show. I will be back for the races on Saturday, though, at the Wilmot Raceway. And we want to thank, of course, Wilmot Raceway, also Steve Sinclair of the Interstate Racing Association. It'll be IRA Founders Night. This coming Saturday night. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on with Blake Nemi. We also, of course, this is a quasi B&L Office Furniture set, and we thank Scott Carpenter from B&L Office Furniture for helping us out with that. And also Great Lakes Dragaway. They've got a big weekend of action throughout this Memorial Day holiday weekend, and we'll be talking to John in just a few minutes. A couple more of our marketing partners, our good friends from Fox Lake Harbor. Another one of them, Dave Mullis, and he's going to come out to Wilmot Raceway this coming week. He's a past champion in the IRA and at Wilmot, and also is a sponsor of our program here and of the Wilmot Raceway. And just coming on board this week, the Richmond Hunt Club. The Richmond Hunt Club, actually a sponsor of Tim Cox's wingless car, and we welcome them to the program as well. Well, we're going to welcome into the studio, and on the air with me is John from Great Lakes Dragaway. And John's had a busy night already, and he's got a busy week ahead. John, welcome to the program. And first of all, tell the folks where you're coming to us from. I'm in Florida, and you look like you're in a little bit of a different spot than is usual for you.
Yeah, I'm actually in the store at Great Lakes Dragaway here, surrounded by T-shirts and garbage cans and all kinds of memorabilia and a lot of neat stuff in here.
Yeah, folks definitely want to stop by the apparel store there, the souvenir shop, and check everything out in there. And while they're up there, whenever they come up to the Great Lakes Dragaway, that shop is open just about every 6 days a week, or is it even open on Monday?
Yeah, they were open on pretty much 6 days a week. When the track is open, it's open now during the season, which is
now this coming weekend. I know we talked a little bit about it last week. Some of the main events are going to be on Saturday. Fill the folks in, though, what's happening before Saturday, starting, of course, Wednesday night. Is it the usual ladies' night tonight?
Yep, ladies' night tonight. Got a few people testing for the weekend. Got a Jet Funny car that's doing some testing, so hopefully it won't test while we're doing the interview here because it's going to get real loud. But I think you made one pass. It's going to be a little while. But yeah, a lot of guys are testing for the weekend. Then we all have our standard ladies' night with the women's bracket and the men's bracket. And yeah, we're looking forward to Saturday. It's the big event day for us.
Now, I know when we've talked in the past, you said Thursday night was kind of a track prep night, and they pretty much stuck to just sticker tires on Thursday night. Is that the same program this week, or are things changed up a little bit because of the weekend?
No, it's pretty much the same this weekend, too. It's either slicks or drag radials on Thursday night with extra prep. No street tired cars on Thursday. But Friday, people can test. Friday is also a lot of people coming in for the weekend, so there'll be a lot of different cars here that'll be testing on Friday, getting ready for the big event Saturday.
And tell the folks about the big event.
Okay, so we're here from 10 to 10, and it's going to be what we have for cars here. We're going to have our gassers, the group I race with, the Bruce City Gassers, and some of the other gasser groups that we have. We have some Pro Mods, Pro Stocks. We have Classic American Muscle Cars that's going to be out. We're going to have Pro 85 group that does elimination race, Chicago Wise Guys that are some 6-second door slammer cars, 1320 Legend Dragsters that will be out here, and Altereds, Nostalgia Super Stocks. We've got some wheel standards, a couple Richard Hutchins versus Mighty Chuck Young, and we have some jets. We got Chicago Rush, and we have a couple other ones like the Black Pearl and Quartermaster funded car, Tough Jet with that's going to be out here, and Dave Motter with his Dragonfire jet, and Dennis Rolanski's Crossfire jet. We got some vintage hot rods. We're going to have Dick Massino's Shake, Rattle, and Run. That'll be out here. And we're going to have a couple funny cars, Irish Car Bomb versus the Chi-Town Hustler, which would be kind of cool. And Arnie the Farmer's going to be out here also signing autographs and having some of his stuff for sale. Gates open at 9 o'clock. Track goes hot probably about 11. And the main show starts at about 2.
And now, when we had you on last week, you mentioned that you were going to be running last weekend at another facility, another track. How did you do?
I did pretty good. I was having a few issues with the car. I had a bad spark plug wire on it. I was out here for that streetcar brawl the previous Saturday, and I knew it was cutting out a little bit on the big end. I was down about 5 miles an hour on the big end, and had a bad plug wire. Put the plug wire in it, and then I also turned up the boost a little bit on it. So I had to get it kind of figured out. My first 2 passes down there, I did a big wheelie. One went towards the wall, the other one towards the center line, but I got the wheelie bars adjusted, and my next 2 passes were right spot on where they need to be. So I'll be good for this weekend. And
about when in the program would folks possibly see you making your runs?
We usually make about 4 passes during the day. We get usually 4 runs. It's probably around maybe 11 to noon, and then usually 2. Maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then 1 in the evening, 7 o'clock or so, somewhere around there. It's a pretty full program. In fact, we bring enough cars in here that bar any oil downs or any issues, it's pretty much continuous. Other than the track prep between rounds, it'll be pretty much action all day long.
Well, I think you know this name, Bill Fusting, out of the Beach Park area, owner of Lake County Hose and Equipment. He's one of our supporters here of the program, but he's also racing this weekend. I tried to get him to come on with us tonight.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't know about that. He goes, I don't mind supporting the show, but I don't know about talking.
Bill's a good guy. He's a good friend. Yeah, he'll be definitely be here this weekend with the 1320s, and he's going to be racing at our event, our out-of-sight drags that we got coming on at the end of June.
Well, that'll be good, and he is a great guy, and I'm looking forward to maybe between the two of us we can twist his arm enough to get him to come on one of these weeks.
Right, that sounds like a good plan. Yeah.
Now, I know we've talked too that you don't really have a weather date for Saturday, and hopefully Mother Nature cooperates on Saturday. There's a lot of racing all over the place on Saturday. I know we've got a big event at Wilmot, and of course, some place called Indianapolis has something going on this weekend.
Sure.
And then if you want to go another direction, you can go out to Charlotte. And there's one guy trying to do them both, But do you have a weather date for Saturday, or is it just folks that might stick around and then try to run on Sunday?
Yeah, it's usually no weather date for Saturday, but although the weather looks good, it looks like it's going to be sunny at 68, which would be great. Make some good horsepower in that type of temperature. Because we have import wars going on Sunday and Monday, but people can also test and tune during those events if somebody wanted to. And a couple guys may stay over and make some passes, in between some of the rounds that they do at the import wars. It's open for test and tune also during the Saturday or Sunday and Monday.
I know you've got a big event coming up in June as well, and we've been talking about that because also that Wednesday, June 12th at the Culvers in Paddock Lake, we're going to have a car show that Wednesday evening from about 4 o'clock till it gets dark or until they run out of custard, one or the other. And it's free. It's open to any kind of motorsports vehicles and also, somebody's street rod or custom car that they want to bring and show it as well. And it's all free, and we're looking forward to a lot of fun. And I know you mentioned you were hoping to participate in that, and you were going to spread the word around among the other racers there from Great Lakes.
Absolutely. I just drove by there today. In fact, I was looking to see if there's any room for trailers, because some of them unfortunately, we got to bring them in the trailers. So I thought it looks like it'd be pretty good. We'd definitely like to do that because it's before our race, and we'd like to use that opportunity to promote that event and promote ours.
Well, and we actually might, as far as the trailers, if you noticed, Central High School is not too far away.
Yeah.
And we might reach out to Central and ask them if we could do some trailer parking over there. And it's not too far of a walk,
right.
But otherwise we might kind of try to come up with some kind of a shuttle
Sure.
and get folks over to Culver's. But the high school is always very good to work with, and I know we work with them quite a bit at Wilmot, and I think you guys do at Great Lakes Dragway too. You've got Union Grove just down the street from you, Union Grove High School,
Right.
and do you still have the high school drags? Is that what they call them, or?
Yeah, they used to have. They used to do the high school drags. They're talking about bringing that back, and they're also talking about doing one with Beat the Heat, where they're going to do have them race against a police officer. That's stay tuned for some information coming up on that. That's something that's up and coming. We're gonna be doing again. Bring back.
Well, I understand you've got something similar to that's going to happen, and I think your car might even be involved in it. You're going on a little cruise or something from the driveway down to an establishment in Union Grove, and then coming back.
Yeah, we're gonna during our out of sight drags, we're gonna do a hot rod rumble run. One of our members, it's in law enforcement. He went through and got it so we can block off KR and 45 and get a group of us Saturday morning on that June 29th to come drive down KR to 45, and we're gonna go downtown 45. To the school, make a U-turn, come back through town, and then we're going to end up by the Grove Bowl, and they're going to be cooking hamburgers and hot dogs, get a quick burger and hot dog, and then drive back to the track and race. So we're kind of trying to do that Saturday morning, and kind of neat to try to get some of the community involved and with the businesses in Union Grove, and try to get some of the people to come out to see the race. Well,
that's fantastic. And I know, again, I appreciate you taking your time, because I know it's been a busy day for you away from the track. Did you get to make any runs, or are you going to sneak out there and make a run before things close down around 10 o'clock?
No, not tonight. I had actually one of my buddies that I raced with, and that's in our Bruce City Gasser group. He had his torque converter was bad, and he lives up north, and he had his boss bring it down to Greenfield. So I ran up there this morning, picked up his torque converter, drove it down to Elk Grove Village. So I got there 25 minutes before the torque converter guy came. So hopefully he'll have that back. Probably won't make it this weekend, but we got another event the following weekend, so he should be able to get the car done for that. So it was worked out good. Kind of a busy day, but hey, it all worked out good in the end.
Well, the website on the screen for folks, greatlakesdragaway.com. Go there, check it out. I know Randy and his staff up there do just a fantastic job. And I'm going to get up there soon. I know that there's a little conflict, because I'm the voice of over at Wilmot on the circle track and the clay on the Kenosha County Fairgrounds, and we're typically running on Saturdays. But I do have a weekend coming up pretty soon where we got a Saturday off that I won't be on the mic. So maybe I'll come over by you guys and see if I might be able to sneak on the mic at your place.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That'd be cool. Yeah, that would be neat. Yeah. Hit us up. Let us know. We can do that. Make it
there.
Happen.
You go. Well, tell everybody hello. Wish them the best this Memorial Day holiday weekend. And like I always say, and I know you folks do up there as well, it's great that we're able to have a holiday weekend and do something that we enjoy doing, but we also got to remember why we're able to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Thanks a lot, John. Take care. Good to see you.
Yeah.
God bless. Bye-bye. And that's John from Great Lakes Dragaway. And we want to thank again some of our other marketing partners that we've gotten that have come on board with us. Of course, Midwest Motor Coach, Olson Transportation, MLS Auto Clinic, Impressions Count, We Be Waxen, Bodycraft, Buddies of McHenry. We're going to be eventually out by Buddies of McHenry on Green Street there, where they got great burgers and they got great breakfast items as well. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're going to come out there one of these weeks real soon and do some at least recording during the Monday night car shows that they have right there on Green Street. So watch for us out and about. Also, as I mentioned, want to thank Impressions Count, Randy and his staff, and also Culver's of Paddock Lake. We just mentioned them, and the event coming up on June the 12th, the Lake County Honor Flight, NICASA, A1 Apparel and Diecast. Watch. You might see some Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report apparel coming out soon. And we just mentioned Bill Fusting and Lake County Hose and Equipment, and of course, B&L Office Furniture. Scott Carpenter, he would have liked to have brought the studio down here to Florida, but at least his sign is here. He's here in spirit. 5-star race car bodies. If you'd like to get a job in auto racing, contact Daniel Sanchez and the crew at 5 Star Race Car Bodies. Nielsen Enterprises, Ted Nielsen and his fine staff. They do a great job, as they like to say, a ride for every rider. And they also have a marine division now. And Libertyville Manor, where I happen to work a few days a week. If you've got a loved one and you want them taken care of by family, just like their family, check out Libertyville Manor. And if you'd like to join us as a marketing partner sponsor, you can go to 216 The Net. And again, we'll show that from time to time. Want to pass along now some race results before we get our next guest on. This last Saturday night at the Wilmot Raceway, we had Tommy Sexton out of Twin Lakes score his first win in quite a number of years. He's won 5 championships in 3 different kinds of cars at Wilmot Raceway, but it was his first wing sprint car championship, feature win in about 10 years or so. And that's in the Lift Pro powered by Gandrud Chevrolet Hefner Racing Products 604 crate wing sprint cars. Jay Orr out of South Milwaukee scored the win in the first appearance of the season after Mother Nature won a couple of weeks ago. And that was in the B&L office furniture powered by American Tire and Auto Repair Bandits. Blake Cruiser out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, a second-generation driver. He scored the victory in the Unified Street Stocks. And Joel Crowbridge out of Union Grove scored the win in the IMCA Modified. So that was results at the Wilmot Raceway. And of course, this coming weekend, it's Founders Night for the Bumper to Bumper Interstate Racing Association Outlaw Wing Sprint Cars. Also, the 1175 IRA Lightning Sprints will be in action, as well as the Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints powered by Gandrud Performance. So 3 all open wheel divisions in action this Saturday night at the Wilmot Raceway. Also going to be a number of former racers, former officials, and I'm sure a lot of former fans that are new fans that are going to come out and reminisce a little bit at the Wilmot Raceway this coming Saturday night. And there's going to be also a few other surprises. So you're going to want to come out early. The grandstands are opening early at 4 o'clock. On-track activity going to get underway at about 5:30. Racing slated to get underway at 6:45. And for more information, of course, you can go to wilmotraceway.com. Our next guest, we're going to bring in Eric Wilkie, who has been involved in racing for a while. And we did try to upload it, but technology did not cooperate. So, Eric, welcome to the program. One of our Autometer Wisconsin wingless sprint car drivers that also races at Wilmot and was there on opening night a couple of weeks ago and had a nice, solid 6th place finish. But that wasn't all. Eric, tell the folks a little bit about what happened as you crossed the checkered flag a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so we caught on fire. So with like a lap or 2 to go, I could feel my right foot getting cold. So I knew that we were leaking fuel. And I kind of forgot about it. But then coming on the front stretch after the checker, when I let off, it just ignited. So what happened was a fuel fitting cracked and came loose and then just caught on the headers and ignited. And yeah, definitely really scary. Never want to experience that again.
Yeah, I know all of a sudden I was getting ready to come out in the infield to interview the feature winner. And all of a sudden I look and you're, bailing out of the car and you're rolling on the ground, which, stop, drop, and roll. You were doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And then the Nielsen Enterprises and Twin Lakes Marine fire safety teams got there pretty quickly and helped to extinguish you. And fortunately, you're fine. Yeah,
I'm fine. My eyelashes got a little melted and a little bit of my eyebrow, but that was it. My right leg was on fire. But yeah, my suit did its job and I was able to kind of pat it out with my gloves, and then Tony Jenkins too jumped on it. So it was out within like 12 seconds, I want to say.
Probably
the GoPro.
I was going to say it probably seemed like an eternity.
I've never gotten out of the car that fast before.
Well, again, we're certainly glad that you're okay. And I know that there was some talk on Facebook for a while about whether or not you should continue to use that suit. What about that? Are you still able to wear it? I know Steve Sinclair, who besides running the IRA, also is the K&K insurance guy in the area. He said he definitely wanted to see the suit. So are you wearing it, or has it been retired?
Yeah, I wore it Saturday. I did order a new suit, but it's like 4 to 5 weeks out. And I talked to my uncle was a fire chief for years, and he looked at it and said, it should be good. Because there's no burn. You can't tell there's no like burning marks on it at all. Just a little, because it's blue, it got discolored a little bit, but yeah, you can't tell that it was burnt at all. So I'm going to use it for the next couple of weeks. And I got some Inferno armor to spray on it. So I don't know if you've ever seen that at PRI, but it really helps a lot with fires. So I'm wearing that now. So, it should be good for like the next month. But yeah, I am getting a new one. So,
we're not going to dwell on this forever, but I think sometimes people don't understand the terminology. They think of it's called a lot of times a fire suit or a driver's suit. There is really no such thing as fireproof. It is just fire retardant or slows down the actual fire process. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, I would say definitely. Because it was still really hot. But yeah, it didn't get to I didn't lose any leg hair or anything. So, and I make sure to wear my Nomex long underwear, shirt and bottoms, and then obviously shoes. My shoelaces melted, so I bought new shoes for last weekend. But yeah, so a lot of people don't wear the Nomex underwear, and I just think that's crazy. But yeah, it definitely helped.
Well, I know on some nights, that night it was pretty chilly, so you don't want a fire, but to heat you up. But actually, the Nomex underwear probably felt pretty good because it was keeping you a little warmer.
Yeah.
This last weekend, I know you guys were running up north at Plymouth, but it was quite a bit warmer this last weekend, and so it's it's a little bit different for the kind of suit you're wearing this time around.
Yeah, for sure. I'm used to it by now, so yeah, it's just normal. I'll always wear it. So.
Now, talking about this last weekend, tell us a little bit about your run up there at Plymouth.
Yeah, it was a blast. We qualified 7th, I think, and we were able to win our heat race, and then started 2nd in the feature. And I was able to get to Tate Hensley's outside a few times on the starts, but then I was running the top, and I hit a couple ruts too many times, and there's a couple pictures of me with both left side tires like 3 feet off the ground, it looks like. But yeah, we were running 3rd most of the race, and then on a restart I hit it again and really bad, and I actually broke my front axle. I bent it. So yeah, the last lap I was running with a bent front axle. So yeah, we dropped back to 6th, but yeah, it was a blast. I feel like the racing's been really good this year, so hopefully, we can keep it up. Two 6th place finishes to start the year, so I can't complain after that.
You mentioned Tate Hensley, a 2nd-generation driver getting his first career feature win in the wingless. That's just been a really good run, and the class that you run in has just been it's been so competitive since it began. 10 years ago? I think somebody told me the other day. I think actually when we had Steve on earlier this year, I think he said it was the 10th year this year for the wingless, and starting out with like 6 cars, and now some nights averaging upwards upper 30s and close to 40. And I think it's just a fantastic division, a fantastic class. Now, you occasionally will put a wing on it. And, which do you prefer, the wing or the wingless?
I don't really know. I grew up, obviously, around here, Wisconsin is all wing racing. And then, so I'm just used to that, I guess. But they're both really fun. It's 2 different feelings, backing the car in wingless to the corner or being like winged over in a wing car. So I like them both. in an ideal world, I would be able to do both of them. But yeah, right now we're just the wingless car. We plan on doing some MSA shows, but unfortunately we had some engine problems, so we're probably not going to race that car at all this year. So, but yeah, we definitely plan on doing more wing racing in the future.
Of course, now this Saturday night you'll be down at Wilmot. You guys are kind of the somewhat the support class. You and the Lightning Sprints to the 410 wing cars. I mean, it is IRA Founders Night. Your family's been involved in racing for a long time, and you and I talked off air. But maybe you can explain to folks, because the Wilkie name is known all the way from Indianapolis to Wisconsin, but maybe you can explain how you fit into that Wilkie family and what the other Wilkies, what they've done over the years.
Yeah, so I'm not related to any of the Wilkies in IndyCar, but my uncle is Jeff Wilkie. So he raced Wilmot in the IRA back in the 80s. I think you actually announced his feature win at Wilmot in 86, I think. Mm-hmm. So he raced in the 80s and then got out of it for about 20 years. And we started back up again in 2010. My dad bought an MSA 360 for him to run. And we did that a couple of years, and then he moved to Knoxville. So he started running at Knoxville, and my dad and I would drive down there every weekend to help him. And then my grandpa also raced back in the 80s, mostly Lake Geneva, or he would race Lake Geneva, Slinger, and Beaver Dam on Tuesdays in the dirt. And there's a 3-time Lake Geneva street stock track champion, which I think you announced those too. But yeah, that's my uncle and grandpa raced. And then my dad always just worked on him. He never drove other than a few mechanics races. But yeah, so we've been racing for a long time. We kind of took a 20-year break, but yeah, we were always fans, obviously. And I started going to the races when I was, 3 or 4. I think Wilmot was my first track.
Well, I know, and what was it, just 2 years ago that you scored your first win there at Wilmot? Or was that?
Yeah, last year. So I started racing 2 years ago in 2022. So I graduated college the May of 21, and then got a job. I waited till college was over to start racing. But yeah, I've never driven anything before. But I've been working on them for 15 years. So I would like to think I know what I'm doing when I'm setting up the car, but who knows? It's a crapshoot most of the night.
What was your major in college?
I was a why can't I think of it now? I don't work in my field. I work for Wilkie's Auto Service. I was a finance major. So.
Well, you still probably have to keep an eye on the books.
Sure, yeah, it definitely helps. Yeah. Yep.
Well, and I know there's one more thing, and I'm not going to let you get away without at least touching on it. I officiate football and basketball for a long time, and I was so excited when I saw your profile, and it said that you were a soccer referee. And now, are you still managing to find some time between the racing and the working at the Wilkie's Auto Service that you can get out there and run up and down a soccer field?
Yeah, so I ref all the time. Last week I had 4 games during the week, and then I had 2 games Saturday morning before Plymouth, and then 2 games Sunday after Plymouth. But yeah, I love reffing because it's good money, so that funds the race car. Honestly, if I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't be racing. But yeah, I've been reffing soccer for 12 years, and this spring I became WIA certified finally. So I've been doing some high school games, which is pretty fun. Before I was just doing like club games, 14 to 19-year-olds, but the high school is it's different and it's fun. But yeah, I love it. It's that's how I can afford to race.
Well, my wife would be excited to see a young guy that's into officiating. She always kids me when she goes and watches me work a game. she says, you guys got to, you got to find younger officials. All you guys either have no hair or you have gray hair. So, can we, now you do soccer, we could use you in basketball, football, that they don't interfere too much with racing.
I've done basketball a little bit in college. I actually did some wheelchair basketball a couple times because I went to Whitewater, and that's like Whitewater is very popular for wheelchair basketball. But basketball is a lot harder than soccer. So I'm soccer.
All righty. Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us. Before we let you go, we always like to give the drivers an opportunity to mention those sponsors and the team members and the family that help you to get to the racetrack each week, and that will have you down at Wilmot this Saturday night.
Yep, yeah, we're really looking forward to coming to Wilmot and the rest of the Wisconsin Wingless Series. I just got to thank my mom and dad, Jim and Sandra, and my grandpa too, who comes to the races every week. And then Wilkie's Auto Service, LeDuc's Frozen Custard, they're the business right next to us, and their whole family just loves coming to the races to support us now. Our friends John and Amy Oakes with American Advantage Insurance. Again, they never came to any races before I started coming, and now they come every week, it seems like. And then we got VMS Rod Ends, B&K Electric, and KF Creative, and then Scott King Designs. So just can't thank them enough.
Well, it's kind of funny that you're involved in soccer. I'm actually finally hoping to see my grandson play soccer. He's 14. Plays a lot of travel, and his dad coaches him. Dad's actually out of town, so they're going to have the championship game down here at Port St. Lucie, and I'm going to finally get to see my grandson play soccer. I've been told he loves to score goals, so we'll see what happens when Grandpa's there, but I'm excited to be able to do that and see him. So, and then maybe we'll it's been now a little over a year, so maybe we'll see you in Victory Lane on Saturday night, part of Founders Night. I know that'd be a big win for you.
Yeah, I hope so. Again, I just love running with the Wingless Series. Without this Wingless Series, I would never be racing in the first place, because I just always wanted to race a sprint car, and it's an affordable series to run. We get off bolting on used tires and used parts, so. Yeah, hopefully we'll end up in Victory Lane.
All right. Well, thanks again, Eric. We wish you well, and we'll look forward to seeing the number 24 on Saturday night.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you Saturday. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless. Okay, and that was Eric Wilkie joining us out of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. We're just kind of jumping all over the place. We're going to now bring in Nick Petska. Nick Petska is going to join us. Nick's driven a few different types of race cars, and he's got an IRA Lightning Sprint over his shoulder there. And welcome to the program, Nick.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
And let's see, you got new sponsors there this year of the series. So why don't you go ahead and mention the new sponsors of the IRA Lightning Sprints this year?
Yeah, 1175 Sports Park and Eatery came on board as a title sponsor for the IRA Lightning Sprints. They signed a 2-year contract with us so thank them quite a bit for coming on. They throw a bunch of money into our points fund each year, so that'll be a big help for our group.
Now, you drive the number 18, and tell the folks actually kind of who you drive for, because you're kind of part of a team, so to speak.
Yeah, I drive for Larry and Mike New. It's called Dream Chaser Racing. Started driving for them in 2020, the COVID year. I think we only ran 7 races that year. It's a partial year. 21, we ran a full season with them, won the IRA championship. That was actually my 4th one. And then Wilmot championship that year also. And then I decided, got a bug in my head to retire, and I took 22 off. And then Larry slightly twisted my arm to come back in 23, and I ran just the Wilmot shows, and now we're back full time this year. Going to chase both titles again this year. So
now it looks like it looks like back there, besides the 18, there's something else back there. It looks like on a little bit of a kind of a shelf. What's that car back there?
That's a 1959 Werner quarter midget that my grandpa Stevens bought, brand new in '59. All four of my uncles and my mom raced it back in the early '60s. So I got that car after my grandma passed away, and my Uncle Bob had it at his place, and I was like, I'd really like to have that car, and I'd like to restore it and get it running one of these days. It's complete, everything's there. It's pretty neat to have the bill of sale for it and the original manual that came with it, and it's a pretty cool piece of history to have sitting there.
So does it actually run? Will it fire up?
It just needs a little bit of work. I think it just needs a new magneto in it, but the engine's got compression. It turns over. It should run with minimal work. Now,
I know there's that's the one thing about a Lightning Sprint. They don't take up a lot of room in a trailer. Any possibility, it's Founders Night. We have a lot of different older type race cars that are going to be on display and stuff on Saturday night. Any chance you might bring that out?
Yeah, I could bring it with. We can put
bring it along.
Yeah, I could bring it with.
Yeah, bring it along. I think it'd be neat, and I think it'd be really cool to have it on display there. I mean, when Jim Mullis is going to bring his winged number 30 car, and we got a car that Bill Klein drove years ago that's going to be there as well, and there's a few other people that are trying to get the cars all ready to go to bring them out. So I think it'd be really cool. What about your season thus far? I know that, Mother Nature hasn't been the most cooperative with any kind of racing so far this spring. But what about the IRA Lightning Sprints and you in particular?
So we got rained out would have been our opening night for Wilmot. So we haven't got to run Wilmot yet. We ran Sycamore. Well, this last weekend we were scheduled off. The weekend before that we ran Sycamore, and I qualified quick time and started fourth in the heat race, won my heat race, started sixth in the feature, ended up fourth, and we ran last down there. So the track was pretty toast by the time we were out there, and just missed the setup a little bit, but learned some things while we were there and move on from there to the next race. And really looking forward to racing at Wilmot. That's by far my favorite track to run at. Plus it's 3 miles from my house. So
you could just about walk it. Yep. For folks that aren't familiar with what a Lightning Sprint is, can you explain to them a little bit about, mechanically what the car is?
Yeah, sure. A Lightning Sprint is identical chassis to a midget, same size chassis, same size wheels, tires, all the same. They just utilize a 1000cc motorcycle engine, an alcohol chain drive instead of direct drive like a midget is, and obviously wings on it. So they're pretty straightforward, pretty maintenance. Maintenance is really easy on them unless you're crashing them. Then, of course, you got work to do. But it's pretty much wash them, nut and bolt check, make sure nothing's broke, change oil in it every couple nights, and they're pretty tough cars. And for being a small car, they can throw down some lap times. People don't realize how fast they really are until you actually look at the lap times that they run. And most nights, the only thing faster at Wilmot's a 410. So, the wingless cars on certain nights are a little faster in qualifying, but when it comes, feature time, when the track loses a little bit of grip, these cars really fly.
Now, it's my understanding that, the IRA Lightning Sprints, that there's several different manufacturers' engines in different people's cars.
Right.
What are the main engine builders that have engines in cars, and what is your preference? What kind of engine do you have?
My preference is whatever Larry pays for, actually. I'm running a Suzuki. I like the Suzuki stuff. They're a real durable engine. They put out real good power. So Suzuki's probably the most popular one out there. Honda's coming on strong. There's, I think, a couple of the Branham cars are running a Honda engine. I think Jordan Thunderbunk's running a Honda also. There's some Yamahas out there. So those are your three main ones. And they're all really close on power, the newer motors. So,
I think and you can obviously correct me if I'm wrong, and now I'm testing my memory. I thought a number of years ago when maybe it was the WMSA cars, the Wisconsin-Illinois Mini Sprint Association, which kind of was the predecessor to the current group. I thought there was actually even a Harley that was running, maybe one that ran.
Did I remember? But that could have been before my time. I started racing these in 2008. Was my first season with Lightning Sprint. So it's possible before then. But since I've been running it now, it has to be a 4-cylinder inline engine, no V4s, so inline 4. And we used to be able to run 1200 cc's, and then quite a few years ago they dropped it to 1000 cc class.
And now on occasion, I know Tom Brown comes up. Or not up, I guess it's kind of up or over from Nebraska, and usually runs with you guys. He tries to come on Fair Night, yes. And he always looks forward to making the trip over. Now, is his car just like your guys' car, or do they run something different out there in Nebraska?
His car is exactly the same. So, yep, he can go. We can take our cars down to Indiana, run down there. We can go out by him. We can go out to Colorado, up in Minnesota, North Dakota. We can go. All of our rule packages are all compatible everywhere. So that's what's nice. If you decide you want to go run somewhere, you can take the car with and go on a vacation and go run.
Well, and speaking of that, last summer, if I recall correctly, there was kind of like a semi Lightning Sprint or Mini Sprint Nationals out west, and I think we have about 4 or 5 of our guys made the trip.
Yeah.
And,
they went up to I think it was Minnesota and North Dakota Lightning Sprint Nationals. It was supposed to be 4 races in 4 days. I think they got 3 of the 4 in. They got rained out on the last night, but there's talk of that going on again this year. So I see if I can possibly get out of work to go do that. It would be kind of neat to go race against those other guys. See where we stack up.
Well, with as many tracks as you guys run in the Wisconsin, Illinois area, maybe we should turn the tables and get them to run the Nationals over here by us.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat.
You mentioned you kind of came out of retirement and that. What's your goal for this season for 2024? And have you even thought beyond 2024? Are you contemplating retirement again, or is that like way on the back burner now?
Retiring's on the back burner, but it's Larry gives me such a great opportunity to run this equipment that he has. It's I think it's the best equipment in the group. I would be stupid to say no thank you and stay home. So as long as the door is open for me to drive for Larry and Mike and his daughter Krista, I think I might as well just keep driving. It'd be kind of ridiculous to walk away from a deal that I got here. And as far as this season, obviously going to go and have fun. I would surely like to win my 5th IRA championship and 4th Wilmot track championship. But, that's if the cards fall that way, great. If they don't, not a big deal. That's not what I'm out there for. So we go to have fun and have fun driving sprint cars. So.
Saturday night, of course, we're going to have the Lightning Sprints. We're going to have the wingless, and we're going to have the wing 410s. Any thoughts about moving into one of those classes eventually on a regular or full-time basis?
I've been there, done that. I did a wingless car for 3 seasons. It was on my own dollar. So if I have to pay for it, I'm not interested in doing it. So like I said, if it's free, I'll drive it. Otherwise, as far as me spending my own money on race cars, those days are over. The wingless cars are a blast to drive. I ran them for 3 seasons. We should have had 3 or 4 feature wins in those. We had a couple slip away in the last couple laps and a few that we finished second in. And they were fun to drive. They are affordable to some degree. No race car is cheap, but the Lightning Sprints are, even if I was paying for this on my own, they're way cheaper than running a wingless car or even the crate wing car. I drove Ralph Johnson let me run his car last year, that 604 wing race in September that they had. They are fun to drive. If I wasn't going to do a Lightning Sprint, that's probably what I would go do. So maybe down the road we get Larry to buy a couple of those cars and we go do that instead.
There you go. People, you certainly have mentioned Larry and Mike and the new family, being very supportive of you, and actually they're the reason you're still racing.
Exactly.
Anybody else you want to thank, sponsor wise or family wise or crew wise?
Yeah, I have to thank my mom and dad first and foremost. They're always there to help, and if I need help with the car, my dad will come up and give me a hand with stuff. I got tons of uncles and cousins and family that show up to races all the time. There was, 5-6 years ago that we had nights in the pits where I had 12, 13 people show up wanting to help with the car. And so, I mean, that's all great. And got sponsors that call me that want to be on the car. And so I appreciate all those people and very thankful for what I've done and where we're at right now. And it's been awesome. So
All righty. Well,
new sponsors this year.
go ahead.
Terrain and Gardner Mulches out of Spring Grove, and then all of Larry's partners, Square One Heating and Cooling, J&F Auto Glass, Racine Auto Body, R&R Club, 1175 Sports Bar. I probably forgot a couple here and there, but there's a lot of people involved with this team, and I appreciate everyone's help.
All righty. Well, we appreciate you taking your time this evening. We wish you the best this coming Saturday night. I know you like to do well in front of big crowds, and we're anticipating a really big crowd this Saturday night, Memorial Day weekend. Plus, it's Founders Night, and it's a big night for all three divisions that run with the IRA this Saturday night. So we'll look forward to seeing the number 18 and maybe talk to you in Victory Lane on Saturday.
I hope to see you there, Mike.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. God bless. Nick Petska joining us. And again, Wilmot Raceway this coming Saturday night will be the host of the 11th annual Founders Night this coming Saturday night. And that's presented by Mark and Tony Maglio and the crew at Bodycraft, featuring the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars. Also, the Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints powered by Gandrud Performance, as well as the 1175 IRA Lightning Sprints. An all sprint car spectacular this Memorial Day weekend, along with some other surprises that are going to happen on Saturday night. And we also are going to have a number of cars on display, and Nick might bring out the one that was over his shoulder there as well for folks to get a little bit closer look at and talk to him a little bit more about on Saturday night in the concourse area. Again, a reminder, grandstands are going to open at 4, an hour earlier, and then on-track activity going to get underway about 5:30, and racing slated for about 6:45. And for advanced tickets, they are available at wilmotraceway.com, the official Wilmot Raceway website. And speaking of Wilmot Raceway and the IRA, joining us now is Blake Niemi. Blake Niemi had a very successful weekend this last weekend. Feature winner this last Saturday night up there at Plymouth, scoring a very impressive victory. And, that's always good to see when, and there's the car in Victory Lane up there at Plymouth. And congratulations, Blake. I know it had been, how long it had been since you actually were finally to be able to get the number 1 plate instead of number 2 or 3 or, be up there battling in the top 5.
Man, I think my last podium was about a year ago when we won at Sycamore. So, I feel like we made quite a few improvements since then. But we're just focusing on the future and trying to build something here with this new team. I got a lot of great guys behind me, Jeff, Todd, and Danny, and they're awesome. They're fun. We get along. We're just focused on the next one. So just got to continue putting ourselves in position, and we get celebrated. But then we had Andrew Park on Sunday. Didn't quite ever find the balance, and that's how it goes sometimes. So 0 to 0 really quick, and we just got to continue to build our notebook and become more consistent. Obviously, it's the beginning of the season, so. Building that notebook, getting the consistency, consistently being on the same page, that's the most important thing right now. And right now we're having a lot of fun.
Well, we had Scotty Neitzel on last week, and we got talking to him because you had Plymouth on Saturday this last weekend, then Sunday, Angel Park. This coming Saturday, you're at Wilmot. Sunday, you're at 141. You've really got 4 very different and very unique racetracks and configurations. And although, Scotty said, well, you still make left turns and some of it's still the same. What about the way you see it? Did you have to make a lot of changes from Saturday to Sunday last week? And then are you making even more changes now heading to Wilmot this week?
Well, it's important to have your box, right? So I talk to everybody about being inside your box. So, everybody makes a version of their changes from week to week, but generally it's not left field and right field changes. You're maybe stepping a few paces to the side, maybe the other way. Like, it's not rationally different. The changes you make throughout the night at the tracks themselves, you kind of take it as it goes. But from a driving side, once you get there, it just kind of, it's like riding a bike. So it all comes back. And yeah, like he said, you just go left. But the 141 is extremely unique. It's 2 different halves of a racetrack put together. It's very egg shaped. But when you get out there, you just go, and it doesn't race as different as it looks. You definitely have the wide turns of 1 and 2, and then in 3 and 4, it's very it angles in much more aggressively. So you just kind of have to, at times, you kind of have to back the car in to compensate. So it's very different. It'll test you in ways that a lot of other tracks don't. Wilmot is a little bit more predictable. So it's much more traditional shaped, but they usually give us a great surface. Typically smooth, typically 2 lanes. I love going there close to home. We've won there as well. It was a while ago, but I've got a lot of laps at both, so I feel confident that they'll give us good tracks this weekend, and we're excited.
Now, you mentioned that you have had some success at Wilmot. If I recall correctly, didn't you have a podium finish in the Founders Night and actually almost won it?
I don't know. I don't necessarily. I try not to use past experiences necessarily to guarantee success in the future, but we just got to consistently make the right decisions each night. And me as a driver, I got to minimize my mistakes and just kind of settle in, do my job, and give my team really good feedback. I feel like I've been around so long. I just turned 30, and I'm like, wow. I remember when I joined the IRA when I was 18, off and on for a couple of years, but I've been around consistently since then for the most part. And maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've been really fortunate to be a part of some really, really great teams. And they've all given me really fast race cars at Wilmot at one point or another. And I'm just looking to build on that experience from past experiences and trying to apply that best I can in the future.
Now, if I recall correctly, Oswego, Illinois was your home originally, and are you now moved, or are you still in Oswego?
I'm in Yorkville, which is really, really close, next town over. If you guys want to use Google Maps, I live right by Raging Waves in Yorkville. I believe it's like right in the middle of a field, but bought a really small condo, and it's just me. So I race, work, sleep, eat. That's really not much else. So really fortunate to be in the position that I'm at, based on my living situation being about an hour west of Chicago, with the team being located in Kenosha. So extremely fortunate to have them support me, and I do my best to go up during the week, but I try and make it up once a week. With the double headers, I have to work during the week, so I'm really, really excited that they're willing to take on the work for this week. It's not ideal. They understand that, but that's how it goes sometimes. When we want to do 2 double headers, it creates a little bit of a gap in how I can help during the week. So, but yeah, located in Yorkville. It's about 10 minutes from Oswego. It's very close, but ultimately the drive time, all that kind of stuff is the exact same.
And now you mentioned work, and a lot of times people don't realize, they go to Wilmot, or they go to 141, or they go to Plymouth, and they think, oh, these guys don't do anything but drive race cars. Well, no, actually all the guys and gals do have, quote, real jobs. And what do you do for your real job?
So I work in Verizon in sales. So anything related to cell phones, anything to do with your plan, tablets, home internet. I'm just the guy you talk to when you go into the store. So really, really fortunate. My management allows me to do what I do. It's very uncommon to have these weekends off, and everybody understands. There's thing with me included. There's 9 total people working there, and so. When you're short staffed on the weekends, everyone can feel it. So, everyone kind of shoulders the burden of someone consistently not being there on weekends during the summer. It's typically when it's more, when it's busier. So just, they're thrilled, especially with the win, last weekend, it makes it all worth it. But, keeping people at work happy is very important, family and, obviously the crew and sponsors and all that sort of things. It's definitely not easy. My parents, more so my dad, but also my mom quite a bit. They get it. So I've missed birthdays, and they just understand. So, but to have that support system all the way through and through with my life has been really important and adds a lot of value to what we do.
Well, I may have to talk to you offline, because where I work at Libertyville Manor, we are in the process of looking for some cell phones. So
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. we may need to talk offline, see what we could work out here. So
yeah, I'll ship them.
There you go. That would work.
Yeah.
That would work. Now, this coming Saturday, we mentioned Founders Night. There's a little bit of extra money being put up by Mark and Tony Maglio of Bodycraft, who have been extremely involved and supportive of Wilmot, for many, many years. They provide the pace truck that not only paces Wilmot, but paces a lot of times IRA events as well. And it's, Founders Night is very special. Your name gets on a trophy that is displayed up at the Southeastern Wisconsin Hall of Fame up there in Hartford. I got to thank Jeff Wessel and the Hefners, because they got the trophy on its way to Wilmot this weekend, along with the Tennysons. But your name gets added to that, and you basically are in the Hall of Fame even before you're elected, because your name's on that trophy, and that's where the trophy is displayed. It's also remembering the 3 gentlemen that founded the IRA over 50 years ago: the late Ray Toft, the late Junior Dodd, and Whitey Harris. And we are still working on trying to get Whitey to come down this Saturday. So we'll see if he can't join us. What would it mean to you to put your name on that trophy?
Well, Wilmot's a special place. I think, just with the long history, and, they continue to improve the facility. I know they did a lot of work over the winter. Everyone saw that on their Facebook page. And year before that, I believe it was when they added the new grandstands. I mean,
Correct.
Love when racetracks are, in a financial position to do that. It's not, it's a lot of money, a lot of effort. I mean, it's not a return you see immediately with that. So just love to see the investment. Winning anywhere is special, but Founders Night's a little bit more. So, and especially with it being, our home base in Kenosha, a win close to home, I think everybody wants to see that. And I don't know if the race longer than normal. I don't know if it's
that's a Steve Sinclair question.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
I actually haven't been told that one.
Maybe it's Fair Night I'm thinking of, where it's a longer race than normal, but we got to come with our best, and that would be really, really cool to get a win on Founders Night.
Well, we just got a couple minutes left here, and I know you mentioned your crew, but any sponsors that help you to get to victory lane? And I know you kind of have some, if I've seen it on Facebook, you have a little bit of unique apparel or something that you have available from time to time too.
Yeah, so the apparel, it's shirts we had last year. We're not a full-time team any longer, so didn't have an opportunity to completely sell those, but it's a Wine Me, Dine Me shirt. So look on our Facebook page, message the page if you'd like one. We have limited quantities, and I have to go look at the sizing. The T-shirts are not with me; they are in Wisconsin, but I will get anybody that would like one. They can pay for shipping, or we can arrange. We'll call it in-store pickup at the track. But obviously my dad, he's been, a huge supporter of mine, and not only being my dad, but financially, I could not be here without him. Obviously, I mentioned Todd, Jeff, and Danny. Huge help, a lot of fun to be around. They work so hard and believe in me, and they believe in what we can accomplish together. But got a lot of new sponsors this year. Captain Jim's Yacht Sales. Super Shocks is returning. Great support. Brian gives us a lot of awesome equipment and feedback, and he's been integral in the success of our team. Duffy Fleet Service, Eberly Crane, Princeton Chevy GMC. That's where my dad is a general manager for. He's been in the car business over 30 years, and especially with races on Saturdays, he's with me, so he's fully dedicated. Couldn't ask for anything more. Klein Design, Kistler Racing Engines, KPC Chassis, Smith Titanium, Bailings, HRP Racing Products, Night Owl Design. Just super thrilled with all of our sponsors. I love how the car came out this year. Just something different, fresh. It's been a while since I've had any blue on my car. Blue is my favorite color, so just wanted something that was a little that stood out a little bit more, and Dylan took care of us. So just really excited to just see what we can accomplish this year with this brand new team, and just really, really excited for a fresh start.
Well, we've got the poster up there from your win last week, and I know you'd like to see another one up there with the Founders Night win, and I've even got the Race Wisconsin IRA apparel on here from A1 Apparel and the Tennyson family. So it's got all three classes on there that'll be racing this Saturday night. So again, appreciate you taking your time. Always enjoy visiting with you, and maybe on Saturday night we can visit with you and you can put your name on that Founders Trophy.
Well, that's the goal. So we'll be there. We'll bring our best, and we'll see if it's enough.
All right. Thanks a lot, Blake. Take care.
All right. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this week's program. Again, there's a lot of great racing in the local area. Get out and support your local racetrack. Wilmot Raceway, Founders Night, Saturday night. Great Lakes Dragway, a big show. Sorry about that, Scott. Scott Carpenter and B&L Office Furniture. I just hit his sign. And again, of course, you got, Charlotte and Indy as well. And again, please remember why we have a holiday this weekend. So until we see you next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless. And let's go racing.
Yeah.